Ukrainian-built Patriot missiles won't be defending the country's skies anytime soon. President Trump promised to give Ukraine a license to assemble its own Patriot interceptors, but actually doing so will take many, many months at best, if not years. So all credit to the Warzone website. That's where I'm going to be reading today. 2 days after Ukraine said it couldn't down any Russian ballistic missiles because of a dearth of Patriot surface-to-air missile, or SAM, interceptors, President Donald Trump on Wednesday told Ukrainian President Zelensky that he would provide Kyiv with a license to build its own. So for the Ukrainians to build their own Patriot missiles, they in order to do that, the Ukrainians have to acquire the license, right? Or else it's illegal, and then the United States and the Americans will be mad. But the vow made during a bilateral meeting at the NATO summit in Turkey recently was a rare feel-good moment between two world leaders who have frequently butted heads. However, turning that offer into a reality that can help Ukraine in the near term isn't too realistic because of the logistics and just how long it takes to create your own Patriot interceptors, right? If the Ukrainians even get the license, it's going to take months, if not years. So for the first missiles to roll off the production line for a whole host of reasons will be it's just going to take too long. So that's pretty cool. Trump told Zelensky after making his license offer, quote, "This way you can't complain that we're not giving them enough. I said, make them yourself," end quote, Trump said to Zelensky. So Trump also said, "We haven't informed the company of that yet, but that'll work out all right." He said, "We've reached out to Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, which makes variants of these types of weapons, for more details. We don't have an immediate comment on the president's announcement," a spokesperson for RTX said. Raytheon's parent company told the Warzone. However, the spokesperson noted that RTX has a long history of co-producing critical defense systems in Europe with major suppliers in Poland, Germany, Switzerland, and Greece, to name a few. The American leader also suggested that Ukraine would not need much time before it is able to place domestically produced Patriot interceptors into launchers. "I think they can produce them pretty quickly," Trump said. "They have a great ability to produce weapons," which is true. That's super true. The Ukrainians are extremely good at making any technology of weaponry, for that matter, especially anti-drone stuff, which we've covered a little bit on the channel. Even though Ukraine has been at the forefront of weapon production dating back to when it was a part of the Soviet Union, such a deal could face regulatory hurdles like getting congressional approval, and that's the least of the issues. For instance, even Lockheed Martin, one of the world's biggest arms makers, currently produces only about 650, so under 700 PAC-3 MSE interceptors a year, or just shy of a two per day. However, under a contract with the Pentagon inked in January, Lockheed is committed to boosting Patriot annual production to 2,000 in the years to come. So hopefully Lockheed will be making Patriot interceptors up to the number of 2,000 in just 1 year, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. That's like a lot in 1 year to make. So we'll see what happens. Personally, I just find the Ukraine-Russian war just so stupid. I want white people to unite. I want no more brother wars, and I get it. It's very difficult, but I just think it's so stupid. I think the Ukrainians and Russians just need to do a two-state or even one-state solution. No, I don't want Ukraine to entirely lose its sovereignty, but at the same time, it's like the entire world is suffering. Every country does suffer because they keep helping Ukraine year after year. And it's really disturbing how many Ukrainians and Russians have ended off each other, right? The numbers are very very blackpilling and disturbing. So hopefully this conflict ends soon somehow. That's just my personal hopes. But if you guys learned something or enjoyed watching, please consider subscribing, especially if you're new here. Only takes a few seconds. Why not? Type a comment down below of what you think. And what else? Drop a like. Ring the bell, that way you don't miss a video I post in the future, and check out the older content on my channel. As always, you've been watching Everything Weapons. See you next time.